2021 has officially come to an end. And with that, that means we have to determine what are the best figures of the year. And we're going to do that the only way I know how, with a big old tournament. What's up, guys? Deceptibot9 here, and welcome back to my channel for another, I don't know if I'd call this a ranking. I mean, it's kind of a ranking. I was thinking about ways to do this, right? Top 10 figures of the year, all that kind of stuff. All of us collectors, we all do it at the end of the year, right? It's a fun thing to do. But I collect so many different lines, and I was trying to figure out the best way to get this across, right? And I'll be honest, I filmed one where I broke it up into, a couple separate categories and did top fives for each category. Just did a best figures of the year, my favorite figures of the year, and it didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to. It felt boring and uninspired. So then I came up with this idea, a tournament. I'm going to put all those figures together into a big tournament bracket. Throughout the course of this video, we're going to take a look at the matchups. We're going to go down. I wish I could do live voting or something. That would be really fun. But for now, we're going to look at the matchups. I'm going to vote. And then we'll get down to the top 10, obviously, and who I think is the best figure of the year. Now, a couple rules here establishing that, of course, obviously, this is my opinion, as always. You feel free to let me know what your opinions are down below. Second rule is that this is going to be only figures that were released in 2021, not just anything I grabbed in 2021, because I grabbed a lot of stuff in 2021 that was not released in 2021, and I feel that's a bit unfair to be focusing on older figures when we should be focusing on what came out this year. Now, really quick, what I want to do just to get it out of the way is I want to knock down the teams, right? The players. Who is going to be in this competition? So you can kind of get an idea of my general favorites of the year. If you want to skip the listing of it, go ahead and go over to this timestamp where we will start the actual tournament. For now, let me show you who's contending. All right, playing for Team Mortal Kombat, it's Storm Collectibles Motaro, Storm Collectibles Unmasked Sub-Zero, McFarlane Toys Noob Saibot, Storm Collectibles Kung Lao, and McFarlane Toys Cabal. Playing for Team Star Wars Black Series, we've got Clone Commander Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Clone Wars wave. We've got Sith Apprentice Darth Maul, Return of the Jedi Deluxe Boba Fett, Wrecker from the Bad Batch, and Hunter from the Bad Batch. Give it up for them. All right, moving on. Playing for Team Marvel Legends, we've got the Hasbro PulseCon Venom. We've got Ultron from the Ursa Major Build-A-Figure wave. We've got Maestro Deluxe Release. We've got Dormammu from the Villains Zemnu Build-A-Figure wave. And 5, the Ursa Major Build-A-Figure. Give it up for Team Marvel Legends. All right. Playing for Team Masters of the Universe, it's Masterverse Battlecat from Revelations, Con exclusive Masterverse Scareglow, Origins Lords of Power Merman, Origins Rise of Evil 2-Pack Keldor, and coming in 5th place for Masters of the Universe, Wave 2 Revelations Masterverse Beastman. Give it up for the Masters of the Universe crew. All right, playing for Team McFarlane. Now, this is McFarlane non-Mortal Kombat figures, so DC, Spawn. I don't have any Spawn, but if I had Spawn, there would be some Spawn in here. You get it, all that stuff. All right, we've got the King Shark Build-A-Figure from the King Shark Build-A-Figure wave, Justice League Aquaman, Zuko from Avatar The Last Airbender, Injustice 2 Dr. Fate, and Disney Mirrorverse Buzz Lightyear. Give it up for the McFarlane team. All right, and for the Transformer team, they're a little outnumbered. They have 10 figures, and that's solely because primarily I got more Transformers throughout the year because that's my main toy line, and I was having trouble just picking down a top 5, so they get 10. Number 1, obviously, Unicron. HasLab release Unicron finally came out this year. Kingdom Leader Class Beast Megatron, Kingdom Leader Class Galvatron, Studio Series Grimlock, Origins Bumblebee, Studio Series Hot Rod, Dinobot, Kingdom Voyager, Dinobot, Studio Series Cybertronian Starscream from the Bumblebee movie, Collab Draculus, and Collaborative Gigawatt. Give it up for Transformers. Okay, with all that out of the way, we're going to move on to the actual brackets. There's a lot here. There's a total of 35 total, which accounts for lots of individuals, right? So this is one half of the bracket here, and here is the other half of the bracket. I know you can't really read it very well, but I'm showing off how this is going to work. We're going to move a half at a time. So we're going to cover this half first.
The tournament begins.
All right, starting off. So round one, because we have, I'll show you here, we have a little bit of an outlier in numbers, so we got to have an initial battle to see who's going to move on to the next round. All right, so the first battle, first round, McFarlane King Shark versus Kingdom Beast Megatron. Now, this one hurts me a lot because I love both of these guys, especially the characters, and it sucks to see this one go out so soon, but I'm going to have to give this one to Kingdom Beast Megatron because spectacular, phenomenal figure. So, Megatron's moving on. All right, so that moves us in now into the second round, technically, in the first half of the bracket. Our first matchup is Marvel Legends Ultron from the Ursa Major Build-A-Figure wave and Kingdom Beast Megatron. Again, I'm stuck in a really hard place because Ultron is one of the best Marvel Legends releases of the year in terms of articulation and in terms of look and just general being a character that I love and I wanted really bad. But all those things apply to Beast Megatron as well, considering that's my favorite version of Megatron. But Ultron is one of my favorite Marvel villains. I'm going to have to give this one to Beast Megatron as well. Moving along the bracket nicely here. All right, moving down the list, next matchup is Marvel Legends Deluxe Maestro and Black Series Hunter from the Bad Batch. Now this one, pretty easy for me. I do love both of these figures, but I'm going to have to give it to Maestro. Much better figure overall in terms of just what you're getting. I love the Hulk body, and Maestro is a fantastic character who has had some great series recently from Peter David, so we're giving it to Maestro. Okay, when I pulled this bracket up initially, I randomized it online on an online bracket, and then I wrote it down on the paper because I figured it might be easier for me to keep track. Hasbro PulseCon Venom and Storm Collectibles Motaro is the next matchup, and this one is going to be one of the toughest for me to decide because both of these figures are phenomenal. And obviously we've got two very different, price ranges going on here in terms of figures. We've got a standard Marvel Legends, even though it's a little more expensive. It's not a little more expensive. It's a little bit better because it's a con exclusive. And we're dealing with a higher end collectibles in Storm Collectibles Motaro here. Just because of the nature of Motaro, it sucks to see Venom go out so soon, but just because of the nature of Motaro, we're going to have to give it to Motaro. He's a fantastic figure, fantastic release overall, especially if you're a fan of Mortal Kombat, but just even as a figure himself, it's one of the best figures released this year in general. So this one goes to Motaro. Sorry, Venom. All right, next matchup, the SDCC exclusive Scareglow from Masters of the Universe Revelations and Buzzworthy Bumblebee Origin Bumblebee. Both of these figures are phenomenal. Obviously, I'm keeping in mind that Scareglow is a con exclusive release, so there's a little bit more speciality to this one in particular. But I absolutely adore the Origin Bumblebee. It was a figure that I've been wanting for so long, especially because we didn't get him in Siege. I was so confused why we didn't get him in Siege, but we finally get him in Buzzworthy Bumblebee, and this one's a little tough. I do really love the Scareglow. And when you compare him to Bumblebee, which one's a better figure? I've messed around with Bumblebee more. Scareglow is going to have to kick the bucket to Origin Bumblebee. I'm sorry, Scareglow. I love you, buddy. All right, next matchup, McFarlane Toys Buzz Lightyear from the Disney Mirrorverse line and Dormammu from the Zemnu Build-A-Figure wave. As much as I love Buzz Lightyear, this one's super easy. I really don't have to compare these two. Dormammu is going to win this one all day. I have a review or a ranking of the Zemnu Build-A-Figure wave if you want to go see my thoughts on Dormammu. Okay, we're back now to another tough one. We've got the deluxe release for, Return of the Jedi Boba Fett from the Black Series and Transformers Collaborative Draculus. Now this one's hard because Draculus is phenomenal. I love him so much. He's such a wild pick for a collab, and he's super, super fun and super, super wacky. But I think I'm going to have to give this one to Boba Fett, strictly because unfortunately Draculus is on a body mold that is about 5-6 years old at this point. And so that kind of hinders him a little bit. No matter how fun he is, I do really love Draculus. Boba Fett is an overall better constructed figure in this day and age. So I'm going to have to give this one to Boba Fett. It's our first Transformer loss on this bracket. That's a hard hitter. That's really sad. All right, coming up next. Next match is Studio Series Hot Rod, who we see right there, and Sith Apprentice Darth Maul from the comic Black Series subline. This one, it's another tough one. Darth Maul, fantastic figure. Easily one of the best Black Series releases of the year. One of the best releases of the year in terms of just overall figures, like 6-inch scale and stuff. He is hindered a little bit by the fact that he uses the old Maul legs, which aren't really the best, but that upper torso is so perfect. Due to that hindrance, I'm going to have to give this one to Studio Series Hot Rod because I have had a hell of a time messing around with Studio Series Hot Rod. He's fun to transform, he's fun to pose, he looks great in both modes. All right. Last match of round 2 for this first half of the bracket. We've got Clone Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Target exclusive Clone Wars line from the Black Series and Revelations Masterverse Battle Cat. Whew, okay, this is a tough one. Obi-Wan Kenobi is very special to me because A, that packaging is very nostalgic because I have many Clone Wars, or I used to have many Clone Wars figures from the actual Clone Wars days. This Obi-Wan Kenobi in particular, I did have at least one figure of because I love Obi-Wan Kenobi and I have all the time. And plus, this is just a great body mold and a great look for Obi-Wan that we've been wanting in the Black Series line for some time. On the other hand, this Battle Cat is one of my favorite releases of the year. I love this Battle Cat because I was so disappointed with the Origins Battle Cat. That Masterverse Battle Cat came out and really was what I was looking for in terms of a modern Battle Cat all along. But when I'm comparing these two, I gotta put those aside. Battle Cat is a tremendous piece, and when he's being compared to just a 6-inch Black Series figure, it's gonna be a little tough to compare because they're two wildly different things. And as much as I love Battle Cat, a lot of my love for Battle Cat is due to the fact that I was disappointed by the previous Battle Cat. Where that doesn't happen with Kenobi. Every single Kenobi release that I've gotten so far just absolutely knocks it out of the park. This one continues the trend. I'm going to have to give it to Kenobi. All right, that concludes round 2 of the first half of the bracket. Here we are into round 3. Now, first battle of round 3 is Kingdom Beast Megatron and Marvel Legends Deluxe Maestro. Again, this is a really tough one. These two figures are absolutely phenomenal. I love them both a whole lot. But in terms of figure-wise, I'm going to have to give it to Beast Megatron. I think we have a clear favorite in this bracket. All right, next battle, though. Kind of a tough one, but it's no contest. We've got Stormcloak Motaro versus Origin Bumblebee. These two are wildly different. Obviously, one costs $100 more than the other one. One's a transforming figure, the other is a awesome centaur. We're going to give it to Motaro. No question about it. As much as I love Origin Bumblebee, Motaro takes the cake. All right. Next battle, Marvel Legends Zenmu Build-A-Figure Dormammu versus Deluxe Boba Fett. This one's tough. This one is a tough one. I'm looking down at my figures now trying to assess. Boba Fett, Dormammu. I'm going to have to give this one to Boba Fett. I'm going to give this one to Boba Fett because they're both fantastic figures. Dormammu is one of the best Marvel Legends releases of the year, in my opinion. As much as I love that Dormammu figure, if you go see my ranking, you'll know why I like that figure so much. Whereas Boba Fett, I don't have as much as that of that, like, so desperate for wanting a character type love and attachment to this Boba Fett because I have other Boba Fetts. But this is the best Boba Fett they've made so far. Boba Fett wins. All right, last match of round 3 for this half of the bracket. We've got Studio Series Hot Rod versus Clone Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is a toughie. This is a tough one. But I think I'm going to have to give it to Hot Rod. Gonna have to give it to Hot Rod. Again, like I said, so much fun with this figure all the time. And I do have a nostalgic love and attachment for Obi-Wan. But generally, figure-wise, I think I've played around and messed with Hot Rod more. He's a tremendous piece of engineering for a Voyager figure in this line. and I really, really like it. All right, that means we're down to the quarterfinals on this half of the bracket. First matchup is a hard one. Beast Wars Megatron and Motaro. There's going to be people on both sides of this argument, I feel like. It's going to be a tough one here. Beast Megatron and Motaro. I love the hell out of both of these figures. It's like trying to choose a favorite son, right? Beast Megatron, wonderful. He's beautiful in robot mode and in T-Rex mode. T-Rex is my favorite dinosaur. Transformation is fantastic. It's a great modern update on an old figure. Whereas Motaro, I think this is the first figure Motaro has ever had. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he blows it out of the water. Expectations were super shattered by how great this figure was, and it looks like in the first upset of the bracket, I don't know if it's an upset, but I mean, Beast Megatron's been carrying that bracket so far. It's gonna have to go to Motaro. Oof, tough one. All right, other match. I'm gonna cry at that. That was so sad. Motaro's a winner. I love him. Okay, anyway, next match in the quarterfinals: Deluxe Boba Fett, Studio Series, Hot Rod. Now we're getting down to like super, super tough choices. Obviously, Beast Megatron, and like whoever loses these in the quarterfinals, I think they still have the chance to make it into the top 10, which we'll kind of assess at the end, like the very, very end. We'll assess who the top 10 actually are. Hot Rod's going to have to take this one. I'm going to have to give this one to Hot Rod. Boba Fett has had a good run, but like I said about Hot Rod, he's great. He's super fun. Here's what we're going to do actually now. We're going to pause this half of the bracket at the semifinals. And just for a refresher reminder, semifinals now are going to be Storm Collectibles Motaro and Studio Series Hot Rod. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a little break, but consider this your intermission if you would like to go, because I realize this is going to be a long video. So intermission, if you need to go grab a snack, if you need to go grab a drink, if you need to go take a bathroom break, we're at halftime. I guess I shouldn't use intermission. We're doing a sports thing, not intermission. My theater kid's coming out too much. We're at halftime, all right? We are at halftime, 7th inning stretch. That's unequal. Whatever you want to call it. We're at halftime. Go take a break. And then we're going to come back to the other half of the bracket, and then we'll discuss the finals.
And it's time for the 7th inning stretch.
It's the bottom of the 7th inning. The last chance to order beer. But we didn't come here to drink beer. We came here to win this ball game.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Best of 2021 tournament. Woo! All right, we're now going to be assessing the second half of the other half of the Best of 2021 bracket, right? When we went to commercial, we had finished up the first half. We stopped at the semifinals because we're going to do one big shindig at the end. All right, now, just like the last half, you see there are a couple of outlier brackets, round one, technically, so we're going to get those out of the way real quick. All right, first matchup, Lords of Power Merman, Rise of Evil Keldor. Now, it's always super easy when we have the same toy line fighting each other, because I already know which one of those I like better. This one goes to Lords of Power Merman. Fantastic figure from the Origins line overall. I love that. All right, he is going to move on and be facing Studio Series Grimlock in the second round. All right, next, McFarlane Toys Cabal and Revelations Beastman. Now, this one's a little tough, but not too tough. I'm going to have to give this one to Beastman, because with Cabal, there were design choices that I was not a huge fan of, even though he's a solid figure overall. I think if they had gone a different costume route for Cabal, he would have been a lot better. So I'm going to give this one to Beastman. And with that, Beastman is going to be facing Kingdom Dinobot in the next round. All right, round two, technically. First matchup of round two is Studio Series 86 Grimlock and Lords of Power Merman. Both of these are great figures. I've had so much fun playing around with both of them, but going to be a little biased here because Grimlock is my favorite Transformer, and this is, I think, the best Grimlock that has been made to date. Sorry to see you go so early, Merman. Grimlock's moving on. Next one, I looked at initially, and I thought it was going to be tough, but really it's no competition. If you know me, you know how much I love the HasLab Unicron figure, and which I've been meaning to make a review about for ages. HasLab Unicron versus Storm Collectibles Unmasked Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat 3, this lovely fellow right here. It's sad to see Sub-Zero go so early because he's a tremendous figure. Unicron, he can't be matched, so bye Sub-Zero. Unicron, moving on. Hey, I rhymed. I did like a Thew. Shoutouts to Thew. Okay, next. This is an interesting matchup. We've got Bumblebee Movie, Cybertronian, Starscream, and collaborative Gigawatt. Now, both of these figures are pretty awesome, pretty fun. I really, really love Cybertronian Starscream. I think it's one of the best Starscreams to date. It's the best Starscream recently, in my opinion, too. But Gigawatt, man, I love these collab figures so much, and Gigawatt is so much fun. I think I'm going to have to give this one to Gigawatt, actually. Starscream puts up a good fight. Gigawatt goes a little better. All right, next matchup is Black Series Wrecker from the Bad Batch Deluxe Release and Storm Collectibles Kung Lao. I thought this one was going to be tough at first, but it's not. Wrecker takes this one. Storm Collectibles, guys, you can come at me if you think, yeah, you can come at me if you want. Anyway, Kung Lao, going to be out of this one. He's not the best release Storm Collectibles has had. He's definitely not as bad as some people are making him out to be, but he's not the best. Wrecker, on the other hand, is a pretty phenomenal release in terms of the Black Series this year, and I love the Bad Batch, so Wrecker's taking that cake. All right, we're moving on now. Second half of round 2 is Kingdom Dinobot versus Revelations Beastman. Both pretty phenomenal figures. I've had a lot of fun with Beastman, but I've had Dinobot for a lot longer in terms of how much in 2021 I've owned these guys. I just have so much fun with Dinobot. He looks great in both modes. Transformation's really, really unique and really fun. I love the way they get some of those aspects of Dinobot's robot mode to be incorporated into his Dino mode and vice versa, so I have to give this one to Dinobot. Next matchup, we're stuck here with another tough one. Justice League Aquaman from McFarlane Toys and Kingdom Leader Class Galvatron. Aquaman, one of my favorite DC Comics characters, one of my favorite comic book characters of all time. Jason Momoa style, obviously, and Galvatron is a tremendous figure, tremendous release for this year. But I'm going to have to give this one to Galvatron because as much as I like the Aquaman figure, I think he would fare a little bit better if he was more a traditional looking Aquaman. And I know Zack Snyder's Justice League is what inspired the figure, and I love that version of the film, and I love that version of Aquaman. I just would have preferred if we get the bright orange and green pants. Giving this one to Galvatron. All right, next up, McFarlane Toys Zuko from Avatar The Last Airbender and Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Ursa Major. Now, I don't think this is fair. We got a Build-A-Figure here versus just a standard McFarlane figure. But I freaking love the Zuko so much. He's such a great figure. He adapts the character very, very well. His sculpt is great. Articulation's not that bad. His accessories are awesome. But Ursa Major is a character that I've been wanting for a long time, and he rounds out a team that I love from Marvel and have been wanting to complete for a while. And he's a big bear man. He's a big, lovable, angry bear man. So we're going to give this one to Ursa Major. I'm so sorry, Zuko. I love you. All right. Last in round 2, McFarlane Toys Dr. Fate from the DC Multiverse line and McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat Noob Saibot. Now, this one's a little bit tough, but it's actually not. I tricked you. Haha. Actually tough, but really not. Because as much as I love Dr. Fate as a character and as excited as I was to get him in figure form from McFarlane, and I do really, really like him, when you compare him with Noob Saibot, Dr. Fate lacks a little bit because his accessories just don't hit it. He doesn't come with any, and he has hands that just don't fit the character aesthetic at all, whereas Noob Saibot has ones that fit. And he's the only McFarlane Toys character or figure that I've bought twice because I've bought the regular version and the Platinum Blood variation. This one goes to Noob Saibot. All right, moving into round 3 of the second half of the bracket. Now, first up is Studio Series Grimlock and HasLab Unicron. And as much as I love Grimlock, this is no competition. I think you guys might be able to tell who's going to be in the top. On this part at least. So Grimlock, I love you and I'm sorry. Unicron is gonna have to take the cake here. All right, which puts us now down to next matchup, which is collaborative Gigawatt and Black Series Wrecker. This one is tougher than the last one. I love Gigawatt, fun Back to the Future character, but I love Wrecker too, and I think the accessories he came with are great. He's supported by a terrific show. But Gigawatt is supported by a fun 4-issue comic series, and being a Transformer. This one's hard. The judges have deliberated, and Gigawatt is going to take this lead on this one. Wrecker, we're sorry to see you go. Gigawatt, you're in. All right, now we're down to a full Transformer matchup down here. We've got Kingdom Dinobot, Kingdom Galvatron. This one is easy. Don't need to deliberate it into it too much, even though I love Dinobot. Galvatron's going to take this easy. And we got another fairly easy one here coming in the last half. Bottom is Build-A-Figure Ursa Major and McFarlane Toys Noob Saibot. Noob Saibot, get out of here. I love you, but you're nothing compared to a terrific Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure. All right, that takes us into the quarterfinals for this round. Quarterfinals here, we've got Unicron versus Gigawatt. I think you all see how this is going to go. Gigawatt, get out of here. Unicron is moving on. Did I make that joke? I made that joke already. Shit. All right, next up, though, it's a little harder. We've got Kingdom Galvatron versus Marvel Legends Ursa Major. Both are great. Both are fun figures. Galvatron's obviously a little easier to pick up than Ursa Major. You don't have to buy 6 other figures in order to get this one. This one's a little bit hard, but I'm going to have to edge this one out to Galvatron because I love Galvatron. All right, now some of you might be disappointed because we're in the semifinals now, and we're going to review the semifinalists from the other half of the bracket. That was Motaro and Hot Rod. And now if you look at this semifinalist bracket, you see we've got Unicron and Galvatron. So it's very Transformer heavy. So I'm sorry for those of you that are not huge Transformer people. But like I said, at the very end, I am going to look at who the 10 remaining, the top 10, so I can kind of finalize a top 10. But we are going to pick a winner. There is going to be a best figure of 2021, and it will be ordered right now. So, let's go back to the first half of the bracket. Motaro from Storm Collectibles and Studio Series Hot Rod. 2 wonderful contenders, obviously, for 2021. Great figures overall. But like I've said in Motaro's other matches, I'm going to have to give this one to Motaro. Motaro is going to take this one, and he is going to advance into the finals. All right, let's check on how the other half is doing. All right, other half is Unicron, HasLab, and Kingdom Leader Galvatron. And like I said with the other ones, no competition here. Unicron blows Galvatron out of the water, even though they are closely correlated in terms of character. And if you've been following along, that means final match is HasLab Unicron and Storm Collectibles Motaro. This is a tough matchup. This is a tough matchup. Both are tremendous figures overall. HasLab Unicron, it's a marvel. I keep pointing down here because my HasLab Unicron is right here next to me. I can touch him while I'm standing up here. HasLab Unicron is a marvel of a figure, and I'm so happy that we finally were able to get a Unicron figure that represents the sheer size and scale of a terror being such as him. And Motaro from Storm Collectibles is just a piece of art, right? It's so awesome that Storm was able to take that weird design and make it into a figure. All the other figures in the Mortal Kombat line are fairly standard, aside from, we got Goro, who has extra arms and he's a little taller, but he's still a little humanoid, whereas Motaro, he's only like half humanoid. A lot of his bulk is in his horse half. Storm Collectibles pulled it off magnificently in terms of being able to make a figure out of that. But HasLab Unicron is honestly probably once in a lifetime figure, and he's gonna take it. HasLab Unicron, he did it. HasLab Unicron is the #1 figure of the year. But if you knew me, that probably isn't too much. It's probably not far off. I'm sure could have seen that coming. I freaking love HasLab Unicron, guys. But Motaro coming in at a close second. Very, very good for him. All right, we're gonna take another really quick break here, and then we are gonna do the post show. We're gonna analyze who is the top 10 of the year. All right, the judges are here to determine how the top 10 is going to work. Okay, the judges have deliberated, they have evaluated, they have turned in their scores to me. So thank you, judges, for that opportunity. Now we are here to announce the Deceptibot 9's official top 10 figures of 2021. All right, here we go. Coming in at number 10, 10th figure of the year, Kingdom Voyager class Dinobot. He put in a great effort in the tournament, and he's a tremendous figure overall. We're going to give him a round of applause. Round of applause. There we go. All right, coming in at 9th place, 9th figure of the year. Let me find him here. We had Marvel Legends Deluxe Maestro coming in at number 9. He also put up a good outing in the tournament. We love him. Round of applause for Maestro. Good job. All right. Coming in at number 8, Black Series Deluxe Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. Again, great outing, great figure, great character. Give him a round of applause. There we go. All right. 7th figure of the year is Transformers Collaborative Gigawatt. Give him a round of applause. Yes, we do. All right. Coming in at number 6, Ursa Major, Build-A-Figure from Marvel Legends. Great outing in the tournament by him. Give him a round of applause. We love to see it. All right. Coming in 5th place, into the top 5, someone who showed a terrific effort in the tournament. He put up great fights. We loved to see his progress and his fights. Kingdom Leader Class Beast Megatron. We were major upset when he lost. We love him. Good job. All right, coming in 4th place, Studio Series Hot Rod. Obviously, he was a semifinalist. We should have expected seeing him in the top 4. And coming in at number 3 is Kingdom Galvatron. Yes, Kingdom Galvatron, round of applause for them. Galvatron and Hot Rod had to have a tussle. The judges had to deliberate there as well. And like we saw in the finals, Motaro from Storm Collectibles coming in at number 2, and HasLab Unicron coming in at number 1. All right, that's going to be the end of the video today, guys. This is going up a little bit into 2022. Hopefully, it was fun for you. If you stuck around to the end, I know this is going to be a little bit of a long one, but if you stuck around to the end, thank you so much, and thank you everyone for joining me and joining my community in 2021. For all of you who did that, I am so grateful and so thankful. Whether you're a follower here, you're a follower on TikTok, follower on Instagram, any of that, thank you all for your support. Don't forget to keep liking and subscribing, interacting. I love interacting with everybody on these videos and on my TikTok and my Instagram as well. So thank you everybody for that. We're going to have a banging 2022. There's more figures coming. That means there's more posts, more videos, all that fun stuff. Thank you all, and I'll see y'all now in 2022.